which is a conditional control statement. It is a multi-way selection statement or multi-branching statement, or we can call it as choice statement. How the multiple choice questions will be in the normal way, like that only the switch statement is also consist of some of the choice. So we can select any one of the choice. We can select any one of the statement, or we can select any one of the case from the available statements. Okay, here the syntax is like this: switch expression. Inside the switch, so we are having some cases. Label 1, okay, some statements, then after break, fine. So here label 1, label 2, label 3. So what are the labels? I'll explain a bit later. What are all the labels and all? I'll explain. So just after that, by default one statement is there, that is default. Okay, here also it provides some set of statements. Okay, for default we don't have any break statement. If you are using also, there is no problem for the statement. Okay, so like this the switch statement will be. Okay, so I'll explain one by one term. Here switch is a multi-way branching statement or multi-way selection statement. It is also called as a choice statement. So like else if ladder work execution flow only, the switch statement execution flow is also, but there is a difference in syntax. Okay, how the syntax is switch. Here the switch is a keyword which is a predefined keyword. That means these all predefined words are present in C library. Here inside a switch, so we can provide expression. So, I mean condition like. Okay, here the expression may be a constant, a variable, or a function itself. Okay, so how this expression will be evaluated and how these conditions will be provided to switch statement, we'll discuss one by one. Okay, simply assume that inside a switch expression is there. So here if we open the bracket, from there the switch statement will start and it ends wherever the opening bracket followed by closing bracket. Okay, so here case is also a predefined keyword, and remember one thing, all predefined keywords are present in C library, so these are written in lowercase letters only. Okay, label is user defined name. Label may be any constant or a variable or a character. Okay, like, so what are the labels we are going to provide for the for our requirement, we will get to know. And statements are any statements like if else. So how we are going to provide each statement, if else statements, and within that execution block, what are the statements? I mean, it may be a printf statement, or it may be a scanf statement, a calculation part, or it may be any sort of statement. And here break. So break is a predefined word. Here remember one thing, the switch, case, and break default. These four are the predefined keywords which are present in our C library. Right? So now we'll see what are the expressions and what are the cases and what are the labels and what are the statements inside the cases. Here, so we are defining that switch statement like choice statement, right? Simply we can call it as choice, like multiple choice. Okay, how these choices will be? Suppose here the label may be any user defined labels, that may be a character which includes single quotes, or it may be a number, integer format of number. Okay, so character or number, but we are not able to take float values as a case label. Okay, so we are not going to take float value because it is not going to accept float values. If we want to use numeric format means you can use numbers, suppose case 1, case 2, case 3, case 4, and remaining one is default case. Okay, so here it accepts numeric format of data, or else we can provide character data also. Okay, character type of data. So whatever the alphabets, whatever the digits, whatever the special characters which are enclosed with a single code is called what? The character type of data. And otherwise, if I want to take 5 as a case label, so then I can take simply 2 plus 3 also. That means, so 2 plus 3 is an expression, no? So it will allows expression also, that is 2 plus 3, so it will simply calculate. But the thing is, here in an expression, what are the relational, I mean logical operators are present. I mean suppose a greater than b, a greater than 7 and b greater than 0. So like this, if we want to use any logical operators inside a switch expression, it won't be acceptable. So instead of expression, we can take a variable, or we can take a number, or we can take like expression also. Okay, function also, how this will be, we will get to know a bit later functions. But as of now, just assume that we will provide any one of the expressions, whether it is a variable or it is a constant. Okay, simply I can call it as expression. Okay, fine. So here there are certain rules to provide, there are certain rules to write a switch statement. Okay, so here the switch expression must be integer or character type only. Here these things, switch expression, integers or characters, how these case values are accepting, no? So same way expression is also same, integer or characters only. Again, we have seen already the case statement, right? Case value must be an integer or constant, it is also. Okay, the case value can be used inside the switch statement. I mean, so switch limit is, I mean, what we can call the scope of switch statement is from here to here. Within this opening bracket and closing bracket, what are all the statements are present? These statements are within the scope of switch statement. So if you are providing any number here, these numbers we can access only within this. I mean, we can use only within this switch statement. If you want to use outside the switch, it is not going to accept. Okay. So, and one more important case is, if a case is provided like 1, no, again I am going to take 1 as a case, means it is not going to accept. That means these duplicates are not allowed for a case label. So we can simply call it as a label. These duplicates are not allowed in the case statement. Okay, so this is a these are the certain rules of switch statement. Okay, so now some limitations are also present. I mean, what are the, how these statements are, these expressions are restricted while using our switch statement. Here already you have seen logical expressions are not accepting inside a switch expression. I mean, as a switch expression, we are not going to provide any logical statement. If you are providing it, simply it is going to return an error. Okay, and here the case labels only either integer or character type of data only accepting. So other than that, if you are providing any float or double values, it is not going to accept, like that 3.2. So like, okay, so how this selection statement will work, I mean sorry, how this case statement will work. Okay, so that we'll see by taking an example. Okay, so the syntax wise it is clear. Syntax wise, if you want, you can note down label 1 here. So whatever the expression is taking inside a switch, same type of labels are accepting here, right? So here it is an integer type, right? Integer type, integer. If you provide directly int value, it's also okay. If you provide some expression, it produces an integer, that is also valid thing. That means this meaning is 1 plus 5, 6. It will treat it as a 6. That is also an integer, no? So that's why we can take it like that also. Here what it will happen means, So we are taking a variable called n. If you provide n value as 3, if you provide n value as 3 through our input statement, okay, here what it will do means it's going to evaluate this expression switch. So here n, it will treated n is an integer type, so this n value is 3. Simply it will store n value is 3. So then after what it will do means immediately it is going to check for the cases. So that case must be integer type. So integer type of label. So that case it's going to select. So from this here we have provided 4 cases and one default case, that is 5th case. Okay, here we have provided 5 cases. From the 5 cases it should check the correct case. I mean, so whatever the equivalent value which stores in n, so that case it is going to be evaluated. First it is going to evaluate this case 1. So it is comparing with this label. So I mean, so whatever the label we have provided, with this label it is going to check whatever the expression we have provided. Here one variable is provided, that variable is n, which is of type integer. So here also integer type only, it's simply comparing this. Case 1 means first case it is going to evaluate. It's comparing n value with this label. I mean, so with 1. So if it is equal, so I mean, so whatever the value which present in n variable, which present in a variable called n, so it is equal to 1 means it is simply print this statement, and then so here the result is 1. If print this statements means immediately one break statement is available. This break statement will break the execution from there and it will send the control out from the switch statement. I mean, from here to, it simply throw the control from here to here, because the statement is already written true. Okay, statement is already written true means it's already evaluated, no need of checking all the other statements. So actually our requirement is the n value is 4, no, n value is 4, sorry, n value is 3. First it's going to check with 1. 1 is not equal to 3, so then it is not going to evaluate this statement. Immediately second option, so that is second choice 2, it is going to check with 2. So 2 is not equal to 3, so that is also not going to evaluate it. Then immediately it is going to evaluate 3. So that means the statement, the case, third case is going to return true. If this value is equal to this value, so that means 3 is equal to n. So n is holding 3, right? So that means 3 is equal to 3. So that's why if this case is matching with the expression value, then immediately it is going to evaluate it. I mean, this is going to be placed as a key role, like for testing a condition. So like if statement we have provided one condition, no? So like that here whatever the value consists of switch statement, that value is going to test with the label here, test with the case statement. If this is equal to this value, then it is going to evaluate this, and from there it is not going to evaluate or check remaining conditions. Simply it is going to send the control to out of the loop. Okay, here switch statement scope will be from here to here. If any one of the statement, if any one of the selection, if any one of the case, if any one of the choice is written true, there itself it is going to evaluate that choice, and then simply it breaks the execution and then it sends the control to remaining part of the program, so outside of the switch statement. Okay, so if not, if we are providing any other number, so which is not present in these cases, if suppose I have provided 10, so what it will do means simply it is going to check first case, so 1 is not equal to 10, the second case 2 is not equal to 10, third case same thing will happens up to here. Okay, it will check all the cases. Any one of the case is not matching with this expression, simply it is going to return default. By defaultly it is going to print this wrong selection, because default is nothing but if any one of the case is not executing or any one of the case is not matching, then simply it is going to return default case. Okay. So like if suppose in general, if you take if you are not providing any break statement here, what it will do, simply it is going to check for the first case. I mean here, if these values, whatever the value n contains, if that value is matching with 1, simply it is going to return this statement, I mean evaluating this statement, and then it is not going to break the execution. I mean simply it is going to check for the second one also. Here third one, so because it is not going to match, no, so this one is written false, so it's not going to check this. So this is also false, not going to check this. This is also false, not going to check this. How many cases we have provided within the switch statement? If we are not providing any break statement, all the cases will be evaluated, right? So if we are not providing else if condition, what it will do means, if we are providing only if statements, suppose if if if, so like that if you provide means there is a need or not, if you are validating this condition is true or false, it is going to check. If this condition is also true or false, it is going to take. So same, the switch statement inside another switch is called what? Nested switch. If suppose it is a nested if, the if statement inside another if called what? Nested if. So like that these statements will be. How? So this will be same like any other nested statements. First we are providing like this, say case 1, I mean case label 1, and then some statements. Then after we'll provide, wait a second, we'll provide break statements, right? Break, then label 1 and label 2 here, label 3, label 4. Obviously we'll provide default. Default is not a mandatory, so if you want you can provide, or else you can simply ignore that, not an issue. Default doesn't contain break statement, even though if you are providing break statement also there is no use. Okay. Here switch some expression. Okay, some expression. Here see once, these statements are any valid statements from C language, right? So this switch statement is also from C language, right? So otherwise we can provide any calculation part or any execution part, any input validation part. So whatever it may be, the statements all are belongs to C language only. So those statements we can use. Here instead of this printf and scanf statement, I can provide one more switch statement inside. That means whenever the case 2 is matching with this expression, at that time I am going to provide one more switch statement. So these switch statement again having same process. I mean how the syntax of outer switch will be, in the same way inner switch statement is also there. So this is what the statement belongs to second case. Okay, this switch statement is inside another switch statement. So that's why this is called what? Nested switch statement. Here also same thing will happen. I mean again it is going to take all the conditions whatever applicable to the outer switch. Okay, like this. That means here this is all belongs to statement, only simply statement. So not yet we have provided any break statement also. So we can provide break here. That means these all switch statements are considered as a statements, and then this is a break for the statement. Okay, so like this. So if you are using any switch statement inside another switch statement, that is called what? Nested switch statement. We'll see practical example also. So one by one we will see. Is that clear? syntactically switch statement and nested switch statement. So same thing, evaluation process is also like this. Here label 1, label 2 and default. If suppose this expression this expression will matches the condition, with the case 2, then simply it is going to take this switch. Again it is going to take expression. So if this expression is going to check with all the remaining cases. If any two of these cases are not matching with this expression, it's simply going to return this default statement which is present in inside switch. So then it will break the execution. It will stop the execution and control come out from the switch statement. Then again there one more statement is there. If this statement, if this case is matches means up to here that's going to executed, and then simply it stop the execution within the switch statements. The control will comes out from the switch statement. Okay. If not means it's not going to evaluate these statements and all. So only simply it checks for the label 2, and if it is returning false, then simply it's going to check the third one. Okay, like that. Okay, fine. So any doubts regarding that? Switch statement and the nested switch statement is clear everything. If it is clear mean I'll go with the practical session. Fine? Clear, right? If you have any doubts, just simply ask now itself. Right. I'm going to focus more on programming part today. First we'll see one example related to switch statement, and then we'll go with the remaining program. So first, whatever the example we have seen, that example only we need to take. But I'll take one example for integer type and one example for character type also. Okay, fine. My requirement is if I enter a number n, simply I'm going to print that number name. Okay, that program I'm going to write. Control statements. So whatever the comments you require, that you need to write. Okay. Here we are not going to use any additional functions. stdio dot h hash include new dot h void main. Okay. Now my requirement is to take an input number that is called n. That number should be entered by the user. For that, I'm going to print a meaningful message from the console. Enter a number between 1 to 10. Simply I'm going to check our 10 values /n. For that I need to take an input function. So that is integer type, right? Ampersand n. Now my actual logic will start. Switch. The expression is here what? A variable I'm taking, n value. Case. The expression is of type what? Integer, no? So that's why the labels also I'm going to take as an integer type. Okay. Printf one /n. So if you want, you can provide, or else you can ignore that also. Break. Yeah. Case 2. Printf two break, and see, after the case label you should provide colon. After the break you should provide semicolon. Printf here THRE3 break, and then case 4 printf if you are 4 break. Okay, and finally default printf wrong selection. Okay, so no need of writing break statement at there, and then get ch. Yeah, this is a this is what my program. Okay, my requirement is like this. You'll just check for 10 conditions, but now I am taking only 4 conditions only. Okay, 4 cases only. Here the same process. Up to here I am taking an input value, then after I am providing one expression that is of type integer type. So here I am taking 4 cases. If user entered value is matches with the case 1, then simply it's going to print this one, otherwise it's not going to evaluate. So if it matches with the second case, it will print this, otherwise it will check for the next case, the next case, like. So if any 4 conditions, 4 cases are not matching with this expression which is given by the user, simply it's going to print a default statement. How the else part is going to print if you are using if else statement, the same way this default statement is going to print by default. If you are not providing any valid thing, means it's going to simply print the default. Okay, so right, so now I'm saving this. Switch.c. Okay, saved, compiled, no errors, execute this. So 1 to 10. If I enter 1, 1. Same example only we have seen in the else if ladder part, right? Right. And second case. These are all positive cases, right? True. And one negative case. If I'm not giving any value, valid value, if I give 11, wrong selection. Okay. Like that it is going to print that. Right? Is that clear? Any doubts related to this program? If you have doubts, just simply ask. Okay. Now, the same case, I'm taking with the help of character type. The same case I'm taking character type of data. No doubts, right? Just for the namesake you are saying no, no, or else really you have no doubts. Okay, right. Character type of data. That means simply we have colors, no? Red, green, blue, black, like that. So for that I'm going to take a character. Okay, if a user enters C means it's going to print some color. If a user enters W means it's going to print white. If a user going to enter B means it's going to print blue, so like that. Or else you can take week base also. Okay, right, fine. Here I'm going to take type character, char color. Okay, character color. Color is a variable here. Okay, enter select any color from. I'll provide 4 colors. B for blue, slash n, G for green, slash n, W for white, slash n, 1 2 3, and one more thing I'm going to provide, O for orange. Okay, this is my requirement. That means if a user selects either B or G or W or O, any one of the color, if a user selects, simply it's going to print that color name. Okay, here the variable is color, which is of type character. No, so that's why we have to take character type of data only. First one is, simply remember, character means which are enclosed with the single quotes, right? First one is blue, second one, order may be anyway, so how you are going to take the orders, that's your wish. Okay, and then green, white, orange, orange. Okay, like this. So this is wrong selection. Please select a valid color. Here I need to print the color name, right? First, if a user selects B means I'm going to print blue, blue color. If a user select G means I'm going to print green color. User selects W means I'm going to print white color. Orange means, O means orange color. So if not selected any of these four, simply it's going to print a default case, that is called what? Wrong selection. Okay. Now I'm going to save same program, compile it, one error. Yeah, simply here the variable name is color, no, the previous case N. Okay, this is compiled successfully and executed successfully. See, select any color from B, G, W, O. Okay, and simply taking W, wrong selection. What happened? W is there, no? Wait for a second. G, oh shit. Scanf who have provided integer type, no? That is of type C, no, color type. Now recompile it, retest it. I am taking W as white. Now G, green. If you are not selecting any valid color, then simply it's going to print. Suppose I am taking a wrong selection. Like this, these things will be. Okay, this is about switch statement, right? Is this program clear? Any doubts related to this program? If this is clear means I'll give one or two examples for your assignment. Hash include stdio.h, hash include conio.h, wide main. Okay, so now my requirement is to take two numbers. First value is, first I need to take for outer switch statement, and then I need to take inner switch statement. For that I am going to take two numbers. The two options will be character type S, and one more thing is B. B for big family, S for small family, right? For that I am going to take one character type data, char C1 character, simply I'll take C, and one more value for number of family members. Okay, CLR SCR, and then printf. I need to ask enter S or B. Okay. Select anyone from B for big family. Okay. Backslash n. B for big family. Backslash n. S for small families. Just clearly observe this slash n. Here I am going to take a character now. Scanf percentage C, comma ampersand, character is C. Okay. If you want, you can change this naming conflicts. Family. No. Char CH. Okay. Let it be CH. No issue with that. So you can take any of them. Now I am going to take outer switch statement. In this outer switch statement, I am going to take a variable ch. I mean character type of data. Here I am providing cases. Case I am going to take yes. First one is yes. That means small family. First one I will take big family first. Printf. My family is big family with more than 5 members. More than 4 members. Persons. So that's your wish. The meaningful message how you are going to take. You can take any of the way. Then break. Here break statement is like this. If the case 2, that means case yes. I am taking a character as yes. Okay. Again here I am going to use switch statement because inner switch. Here I am taking number. Okay. Why I am taking number means for inner switch I am going to take number as an expression and cases are also integer type. Okay. Case 1 printf small family with 1 person. Okay. Slash n. Just simply I am printing one message. That's all. Like there is nothing more than that. Case 2 printf small family with 2 persons. Slash n. Break. Case 3 printf small family with the 3 persons. Slash n. And obviously one more thing is with 4 persons now, so I am not going to take a case. Here I am simply taking default printf small family with 4 persons. Right. For default no need of any break statement. If you can provide there is no use. Okay. Now I am going to provide break statement because these entire statements are treated as a normal second case switch statement, and then here after that I am going to provide break. How I am providing all the break statements for remaining cases, like that only I am providing. Okay. After this one more case if I want I can provide, or else default for outer switch. Okay, printf, please select either F or B. These are also statements. No, simply put it on single quotes. Okay, that's what. Simple. Okay, if you want, you can write complex logics also. Get ch. Okay, here I'm taking outer loop as a character type, inner loop, I mean inner switch as a integer type. Simply save nested.c and see here we have declared a variable called n now. So till now we didn't take any input values. If you want an input value means simply you should take a input value, then you can apply any other statement, right? Here printf select family members 1 or 2 or 3 or 4. I need to select now. Then here I am taking scanf. This is a integer type now. Percentage %d comma ampersand n. We have seen that the statements may be any statements from C language. Here I am using printf and scanf. That's all. Okay. This is our program. Compiled it. One error where it is break should have semicolon, no colon. Compiled and executed. First select any one from the following. Now I am taking B. So what happened? Something else. Wait. B. My family is big family scanf switch. Mm, oh yeah. Get ch statement should be after the switch statement, right? Get c. Oh set. Get ch. Save it. Compile it. Run it. My family is big family with more than 5 persons. Now another case. I'll take S. Select family members. If I enter 1, small family with 1 person. Okay. If I enter, first I'll select small family. If I enter 4 means small family with 4 persons. Like that it is going to take. Okay. This is for nested switch statement. Okay. See that clear?